We got Bears, we got Panthers, Sunday afternoon game. We're going to talk about what the Bears could possibly do to actually win this game in Chicago. With every victory, it always starts with the quarterback because the quarterback is the staple of the team. And the staple of this Panthers team is definitely Cam Newton. And the Bears defense has to step up in this because Cam's got a tweaky shoulder. So I usually don't say, hurt the guy, get him out of the game or whatever. But I do want the Bears defense to make him uncomfortable. Make him throw uncomfortable looking throws. Make him run to the left a little bit, throw towards the right. That'll make him very uncomfortable. At the same time as making him uncomfortable, the Bears defense also has to make him a one-dimensional quarterback. And what do I mean by one-dimensional? Basically what everybody means by one-dimensional. He can't, because he loves to use his legs. He loves to be the running back of the team. Don't let him out of the pocket. I know I just said let him run left and throw right. That's like worst case scenario or whatever. They have to keep him contained and keep that pocket collapsed on him. So if he continues to throw it, he's going to keep tweaking it, and his accuracy might get a little bit more off, and he'll end up throwing more picks like he did in that Eagles game a few weeks ago. So the Bears have to utilize this and utilize the accuracy and the power adjustment to his shoulder. If they play like they did last week against the Ravens, they can possibly pull off a W in Chicago this week. But it's so hard to make sure Cam doesn't do a good job when he's got who he's got. He's got Funches, he's got Kelvin Benjamin, who I believe is going to be ruled in, even though he left practice a little earlier in the week. And they have Christian McCaffrey, the star that I didn't expect. Like, when I first got into the season, everybody was talking so much about Christian McCaffrey and how he was so good and whatnot. He was pretty decent in college, I guess. I don't really pay attention to him, obviously, and he's done all right in the past few games. But he is a dual threat. I saw him going for a few post routes in that Eagles game. I saw him going for runs, blocks. He can pretty much do it all. He's like Matt Forte was for the Bears a few years ago, but a lot younger. And he's pretty agile, too. The Bears' corners, Kyle Fuller, Adrian Amos, I know he's not a corner, Prince Amukamara, have to stay on Kelvin, have to stay on Funches. So they have to basically shut down this offense. And when I say they got to shut down this offense, they have to keep this offense off the field for as long as possible. And that means they might have to rely on the running game the whole time. They might have to rely on good old Jordan Howard, the powerhouse, and Tariq Cohen and Benny Cunningham and the guy they picked up from the Ravens a few weeks ago. They're going to, well, I don't know about him that much. But they're going to have to rely on the Bears' offense to try and keep the Panthers' offense off the field, because this offense for the Panthers, as many mishaps they had against the Eagles, who has a very formidable team, very, very formidable, they still managed to stay within one score throughout the game. So you can't count out this team no matter how many interceptions they threw. Cam could have thrown 5 interceptions possibly against that Eagles team, but instead he threw 3. But even with 3 interceptions, they were still behind only like 6 points or something. As you guys probably already know,
what kind of shit is that?
The Panthers have picked up on this running game. Okay, the Bears' only 2 wins have came when they run the ball 90% of the time. So of course the Panthers are naturally probably gonna stop the run very well. So you got to Dowell Loggins and John Fox has to give Trubisky some other plays to work with, something to audible into, maybe some read options. I feel like read options will work very well in this game, or some sort of option, or do some play action bootleg passes like Aaron Rodgers does all the time so well. They're really going to be going after this running game, and they are no slackers when it comes to the running game defense, but I'm going to get to their defense a little bit later. But like I said, Dowell Loggins has to give Trubisky some plays to work with, give him some practice, let him learn what to do, let him learn how to read defenses. He is decent at defenses, but obviously he's a rookie. He's going to make mistakes. Let him make those mistakes. Now, hopefully they're not costly mistakes, but even if they are, he'll learn. He'll pick up on those defenses. I just want the guy to add more dynamic to this offense instead of just giving it to Jordan Howard the whole time, because we could have Mike Glennon be doing that. We don't even have to have Mike Glennon do it. We can have Tariq Cohen do it. We can have Pat O'Donnell do it. Now this week, my main question is, who is going to be the next star quarterback? Because, as you guys know, Pat O'Donnell and Tariq Cohen have the best QBR rating, or QB rating, in the entire league. I never thought I would have seen Chicago have the two best QBs in the entire league. Granted, they only have they're only 1-for-1 or whatever for a touchdown. But my question is, who's going to be this next QB? Is it going to be Zach Miller, because he did play quarterback a few times in college? Is it going to be Kyle Long? Is it going to be Benny Cunningham to Pat O'Donnell? I don't know. They can literally be anybody, and like I said about the running game, the Panthers are going to pick up on this Bears gimmicky offense. That's literally all they can rely on, the running game and gimmicks. Now, a little bit of a stats for the game is the Panthers ranked 30th in red zone defense, and Bears actually are ranked pretty decent. Actually very, very well. They are ranked 5 in red zone offense. So the Bears have to utilize that. They have to get into the red zone as much as possible, because that is where the Panthers definitely struggle, obviously. And they have to, make some cheeky shit up or something and try and confuse this Panthers defense a little bit. Some other notes I have about this game is it is going to be, like I said last week, a very, very defensive battle, because these teams are both top 10. Panthers are ranked 4 in the league for defense, 5th in rushing defense. So they actually really have to rely on Trubisky to make some plays to the receivers and to the tight ends, and even pass plays to the running backs even. And the Bears are ranked 6th in defense, so they're going to be giving pressure to Cam Newton. They're going to give pressure to the backfield, because this backfield last week for the Bears with Amos, Fuller, Callahan, Prince Mukamura, they killed it last week. They did phenomenal. I was so proud of all of them. And, I hope they can do it again this week against the Panthers. And my final note for this game is the Bears have a big momentum this time. They got to bring the momentum they won in Baltimore back into Chicago for this week, because if they win, they'll be 3-4. Obviously, if they lose, they'll be 2-5. But 3-4 is a lot better than 2-5. So they have to keep that momentum going, keep those wheels churning. Alright, so we're going to do the end of the video a little bit differently. Had a few friends stop by. Got a 49ers fan by the name of Tony, high school varsity quarterback, corner, whatever you want to name it. Then we got my boy Deshaun, who's the Madden replay expert, got the slow motion button on lock. And we're going to do the pick of the week, and we're going to see who wins this ball game. Alright,
we're here.
So we got Tony, got Deshaun, 49ers fan, Vikings fan. Tony, who do you think's going to win this game? Panthers, Bears?
To be honest, I'm going to have to go with the Panthers.
Deshaun, who do you think's going to win?
To be honest, I think the Panthers.
Alright, video's done, guys. I think the Bears are going to win this one. Hopefully they can pull it off. Like I said earlier in the video, the Bears just got to get this big momentum, bring it in from Baltimore, and they'll get the W.
You guys, you guys got the W from Baltimore, right? Okay. Yeah. I'm just saying you guys need to watch out, because you don't want, you don't want what Cam Newton did to the Niners to happen to you guys. Honestly, you keep him in the pocket. Don't let him get his second chance balls, because that's when he just launches it downfield for 56-yard passes on the fucking 4th down play, Do not just... Your defense got to be on point. Your defense has to be on point. If your defense isn't on point, your offense isn't going to get it. No.
Well said. Well spoken, BG.
So now we're going to move on from the Bears and what they can do and what they will do, hopefully, against the Panthers, to move on to what the 49ers can do against the Cowboys this week and what the Vikings can do against the Ravens this week. But we're not going to go into full depth like what I did earlier in the video. They're just going to say who they think is going to win and give a little bit of a reason why. We're going to start off with the 49ers, and now personally I believe the 49ers can win, because they've been they just can't finish a damn game to save their life. Let's be honest. They ever since, what game was it? What was that, the Cardinals game?
The Cardinals game, yeah.
In OT?
Yeah. Ever since that, they've been on a downhill spiral.
I went to that game. I was at that game. First NFL game I've been to. Heartbreaking, taking your team all the way to OT and having an L like that. Larry Fitzgerald, the whole crowd screaming, Larry, Larry. It's pretty heartbreaking, but I mean, that's football.
Mm-hmm. So who do you think's gonna win this game?
To be honest, I have hope in my team. I always do have hope in my team. Like, I don't know. I just feel like we'll keep it close, just like every other game. We have a new starting quarterback in Bethard, but I don't know. I think CJ's gonna do just like Brian Hoyer and get us close. Can't finish.
Yeah.
I'm locking it in with the Cowboys.
Wait.
So-
You gotta let me introduce.
He's trying to take control of your video, Josh. He's like, all right, guys, so I want to do the Sean video.
All right, so now we're gonna move on to what the Vikings can possibly do against the Ravens. And personally, I think the Vikings can win because if the Vikings can beat us and we can beat the Ravens, Vikings should have no problem with the Ravens. What about you?
I think the Vikings can beat the Ravens because we got our starting quarterback back.
Who's your backup?
Our
Case
backup is
Case Keenum?
Yeah.
That white man?
Yeah.
That white man?
Yeah.
That white man?
Yeah.